We're witnessing one of the greatest transfers of wealth in history. It's happening right now, and this is what you need to know. First of all, you'll see that there's, of course, this great industry that's developing because of AI, but it's not the only major change that's happening around the world. You'll see there's the de-dollarization of the world. What's happening is that the dollar's dominance is unwinding, and at the same time, you've got silent migration. In other words, you've got lots of people leaving their countries simply and solely because they want to reduce their tax liability. It's something everybody needs to be aware of, and as we go into 2026, there's different sectors that you need to avoid and different sectors that you should be investing in. First of all, when you look at the dollar, it's declined. In fact, during the first half of this year, it went down by 10% against most major countries. Why is that? Well, the dollar's been weaponized. It's been used by Donald Trump with tariffs. It's been used when printing of dollars, which of course caused emerging markets to struggle. But right now you're seeing a situation where 44% of the global economy is, guess what? It's the BRICS, it's the emerging markets. And as they grow, they simply want to divert their money away from the dollar. That's why you've seen gold continue to rise in price, and it's likely to continue in 2026. You want to avoid holding assets in dollars if you want to be turning that money back into euros or sterling or another currency in the future, or at least realize you could lose 7 to 10% of your profits by having your money simply in dollars. In other words, you invest in US stock. If it makes 10% and your currency that you want your money in ultimately goes down or goes up against the dollar, you're losing money. The currency is causing you a 7 to 10% loss. So right now, there's sectors you should be investing in. You should look at what's your home currency. Talk to a financial advisor. Next, you should look at not only the dollar, but also what's happening with AI. There's a profit check that's going to be coming in 2026. In other words, which companies are going to really make profits out of AI? And that's going to cause the second unwind. Unwind of people just investing in AI because they know AI is the future. Yes, it is, but which companies are going to make profits? And lastly, watch out for this silent migration of people moving to other countries like Dubai. You'll see that, in fact, Ray Dalio said that UAE is becoming the Silicon Valley. In other words, people that are creative, people that are in the tech industry, they want to go tax-free. People in the UK faced with similar situations where there are people that are earning reasonable amounts, not just the rich, are paying very high rates of tax. And of course, if you're going to build a company, you want to build it in other countries. So what does that mean? It means that you're going to see growth in these particular countries. Therefore, there's new businesses coming. That affects the market. And of course, there's stocks that you should be invested in and ones to avoid. Avoid ones in America, for example, that rely on imports being cheap and coming into America. That's an avoid. Look out for the energy sector, because regardless of who makes a profit out of AI, more energy is needed. There's no question about that. And when you're looking at your own personal situation, always talk to an advisor, but consider also, are you tax efficient from an investment point of view and where you live? De-Vere is always happy to give you advice. Leave a comment below. Let me know what more information you want. Happy to share it with you on what's happening right now with this global unwind and what the future holds for investors in 2026.